Hello, my name is Boatwright, and I've had the honor of going to the Lighthouse for the past 2 years. Where should I begin? A little bit about myself is that I'm an avid sports guy, loves tech and music. My own personal style is something that's very important to me. I'm also a diehard Star Wars and Marvel fan, and I enjoy a good debate. I was homeschooled most of my life, and I enjoyed a lot of activities with other homeschooled friends. We used to do homeschooling academy and homeschooling PE, and it was a good way to keep me social. I remember when I was around 7 years old, throwing a tantrum because I didn't want to do my schoolwork. That wasn't very good. My parents sat me down and talked to me about the importance of school and how I need to have a love for learning. I was young and enjoyed playing with my toys more than sitting down and learning how to do cursive or long division. I don't remember much about that day, other than my tantrum and lack of willingness to do my schoolwork, but there is one thing that I remember. My dad sat down next to me, looked at me with patience, and said, "You'll get it one day." I definitely didn't understand what he was talking about, and my brain went right back to wanting to play with my toys. As soon as I finished my school day, of course. Moving forward, about 10 years old, I was caught lying to my parents for sticking gum in my brother's hair because I didn't want to get in trouble. Sorry, Christian. Unfortunately, I wasn't smart enough to realize that lying would only get me into more trouble, and I did, in fact, get punished for it. I remember being upset and on the verge of tears, partially because I didn't want to get punished, who does, but also because I genuinely felt bad about what I had done. I looked at my dad and asked, "Why do parents punish their kids if they say they love them?" He responded with a loving tone saying, "You'll get it one day." When I was 14, soccer was a huge part of my life, and I was starting to feel like I could possibly pursue it as a career. Spoiler alert, that did not happen. During that time, I tried out for an elite travel team, and I had extremely high hopes along with an overinflated ego. To top it all off, the head coach was a previous coach of mine, and I had thought that meant I was a shoo-in. But when I received the email for the callbacks, I wasn't on the list. I was devastated, to say the least. Frustrated at the coach for not picking me, angry at my friends who made the team. My pride took a huge blow, even though it was ultimately for the best. I remember asking my mom why God didn't allow me to be on the team or even help me get a second tryout, knowing how much it meant to me. She tried to explain it to me, but my frustration met her like a brick wall. She did her best to comfort me and kindly said, "You'll get it one day." Last year, I was in the Algebra 2 class here at LCA, and I was struggling, to say the least. I was so frustrated. Nothing was making sense to me at that class. So I asked my teacher, Mr. Scribner, the question that I'm sure every single kid has asked once in their life. Why do we have to do this complicated math? Why? To his credit, he gave me a couple of valid reasons, but nothing I could personally relate to. Then he told me, "You'll understand one day." Something told me he wasn't just talking about equations. I decided to really push myself and try and learn as much as possible in the next 3 days. We had the final exam on a Friday, and I was very nervous about it. As I handed my test in, I knew that at the end, if I failed, at least I did my very best. I was standing next to Mr. Scribner while he was grading the test. I watched him turn the pages over and over again to see a smile slowly grow on his face. He handed it back to me, and I got an 88%, passing my class. But the coolest part of that moment was what he said to me. He said to me, "This is why I love teaching." That showed me that my teachers really did care about me here at LCA. It showed me that they wanted to help me achieve in school, and they wanted to see me grow as a person and in my academics. As I've gotten older, I started to realize more and more about life. I've started to lean in more into what God has for me, and I'm starting to apply what I've learned from my parents, my family, and my teachers' lessons to my life. Since I've done that, everything is starting to make much more sense now. All those things my parents taught to me, I started to recognize them and understand them and apply them to my life. All those moments of frustration and sadness now made crystal clear. All those times they told me, "You'll get it one day." Now I do. I understand why it's important to do math. That feeling of accomplishment, that feeling of pride that we get when our efforts are being recognized. And of course, Mr. Scribner's words definitely helped. I understand why making the elite travel team for soccer wasn't in God's plan for me. because there were better things for my life. There were other moments that I needed to look forward to. I understand why parents punish their kids when they do wrong, because it's not only to teach them what's right, but it's to teach me how to deal with my kids when they make me angry or when they make me a little frustrated. We'll get there one day. I understand why it's important to do school, because my life, my future, and my goals are all necessary. I want to give a special shout out to all the teachers here at LCA. Thank you for all the work you've put into me, for helping me with my knowledge and teaching me strong morals and values. I am so incredibly thankful for my time here at the LCA. Thank you to my family that showed up to support me. It means a lot to see you all here. Thank you to my parents, my amazing mom who sacrificed so much to give me the greatest possible learning experience for my childhood through homeschooling, and my dad for teaching me to respect others and himself and to not cut corners, and to my brother for putting up with me, making home life very fun and interesting. I love you guys so much, and I just want to thank you for everything you have done to help me grow and for simply being there for me. A special thank you to my close friends at the school. The friendships and relationships I built with you are so incredibly meaningful to me. And finally, to my graduating class. You are all such amazing friends, I couldn't ask for any better. Every single one of you have meant something individually to me. Congratulations to us all. I think I speak for all of us when I say we have truly earned this. Thank you.